Hi YouTubers out there, it's Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming to you tonight, and what we have here is a review of a typical day at the range. And every day at the range is a great day. Well, it's President's Day weekend and we have to celebrate by going out to the range, and so we dressed up in our Western shirt and put on our Western hat and grabbed a Ruger 7.5-inch 45 long Colt single action Blackhawk revolver, and we headed to the range, and I'm there touching off those lovely 45 long Colt rounds at 50 yards offhand, having a great time. And we're there among friends, and we're just all having a good time together, shooting the breeze and talking about guns and talking about times in the great outdoors and talking about family and how all of that merges together. And during the target changes, I'm also picking up range scrap. So today we picked up 15 pounds of range scrap, and you see it right there. By weight, 15 pounds. And I brought the range scrap home and melted it down and made these ingots and threw the slag into empty Cafe de Vida cappuccino cans. Well, I happen to enjoy a nice cup of cappuccino apres-shooting, and I saved these cans, and it dawned on me, I went out to the garage and there is 7 of these cans filled brimful with slag made from the making of ingots, and the slag's thrown into these cans. I've got 7 cans, and that's been stored up after the last 6 months of ingot making. 7 of those cans full of slag. We'll take those to the recycler pretty soon. But here's the interesting thing. And I was there with friends, and what happened while I was shooting, one of the range masters happened to go by this shooting station, and another shooter had left 100 rounds almost, was 98 rounds of fine 44 Magnum brass. What you see on the right is 50 rounds of nickel-plated 44 Magnum brass made by Starline. And on the left, there are 48 rounds of Remington Peters 44 Magnum brass. And so I don't know what 100 rounds of 44 Magnum brass is going for today, but that's not bad. And that range master just happened to be there seeing me and knows that I go there a lot, and just came over and said, "You can use some 44 Magnum brass, right?" And I said, "I sure can." And he just handed these to me. I thought he was going to hand me about maybe a dozen rounds of 44 Magnum brass. Instead, he hands me 2 full boxes of 44 Magnum brass. Now, how's that for making shooters feel welcome? Because he could have simply taken that brass and thrown it on the ground and swept it out, but they get a lot of brass there at the range, and he figured that I needed some of these. By the way, that's my Kershaw Blur, and I used it to open this box here without damaging the flap. And what you see there is a box of Winchester Super X fired brass. There's 24 rounds in there. And what happened was Kerry, one of the other shooters at the range, was going through some garbage finding some boxes that he uses, and he ran into this box of fired brass that some shooter just thrown away into the garbage. And so he comes over to me and he says, "You shoot that Ruger gun sight scout rifle, don't you?" And I said, I sure do. And he said, you reload for it. Well, take this. So there's no way that a Ruger gun sight scout rifle owner that reloads is going to look at this and say, and not just say, this is wonderful. This is good Winchester brass, once fired, and it'll be fun to load that for the Ruger gun sight scout rifle. So what a day. All days at the range are fantastic, fun, beyond measure, but today was an extra special day. Makes me feel very lucky to be alive, be able to see, be able to move, to have some health. And YouTubers out there, may you also experience the same. And here's some great days to you. May you enjoy the shooting sports fully and thoroughly. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next video.